네, 도움을 주고 계신데요. 이야기
Zingle
좀
has been very
들어보도록
helpful
할게요.
in getting together this
대표님
event.
모시겠습니다.
This
박수
is the
부탁드릴게요.
CEO of Zingle. Please give a round of applause.
예, 안녕하세요. 암호화폐 공식 플랫폼 젠글을 만들고 있는
Hello,
이
I am
트러스앵글의 박혜민입니다.
the CEO of Zingle.
그 앞서서 이제 저희 젠글 설명드렸다시피 어떤 화면이나 이런 거 없으십니다. 저희는 현재 이제 전 세계에 30군데가 넘는 이 글로벌하게 리딩하고 있는 이 탑티어 거래소들과 파트너십을 맺고
We're
현재
currently
젠글에
in
올라 있는
partnership
이
with
온보딩 되어
around
있는
30
암호화폐 프로젝트 팀이 이제 200개가 넘고 있습니다.
companies
그래서 저희가 이
and 200
전통
cryptocurrency
금융시장을
companies.
보면은 이 여러 대중들에게 정보를 공개하고 이 롱텀한 투자 환경을 만들어가는 게 너무나도 중요한데 이 암호화폐
We're
시장은
trying to find
이 블록체인
a way
자체가
for
굉장히
long-term
투명한
investment.
테크놀로지임을 저희가 강조하지만
The
그에
transparent
이 맞지 않게 이 투명한 정보가 대중들한테 잘 공개되지
information is not
그런,
very easily accessible by regular
롱텀한 투자가
people.
되지 않고 굉장히
And it's hard to have
단기적으로
long-term
투기적인
investment.
이 투자 행태가 이루어지는 게 제 근본적인 문제라고 저희는 생각하고 있고
That's the
그런
fundamental
문제를
problem
해결하기 위해서 이
in
수많은
our opinion.
암호화폐를 만들고 있는 이 블록체인 테크 스타트업들이 보다 투명한 정보 공시를 하고 그 정보들이 거래소 그리고 리테일 투자자
That's why we're trying to work
추가적으로
with
이
a lot
투자를
of these
할 수 있는
cryptocurrencies
펀드들이나 이 자산가들한테
to create
많이
funds
알려져야 된다고
and
생각하고
assets.
있습니다. 그래서 저희는 이 트라이앵글 대회에 이 10개 이 참여하시는 팀하고는 경쟁하는 관계가 아니라
We're not in
저희
competition with the 10
젠글의
teams
이
here
10개 팀이
at
잘
TryAngle.
온보딩을 하셔서
We're
그
hoping
정보를
that
갖고
with
이제
Zingle they can get on
글로벌하게
board very
저희가
easily
기사화해서 이 내용을 이 열심히 퍼뜨리고 그리고 또 나아가서
and
이
to
대회가
distribute
끝난
this
후에도
information
그런
worldwide.
좋은 정보 공시 내용들이 저희가 파트너십을 맺고 있는 거래소들에 잘 전달이 돼서 추후에 좋은 상장
And hopefully
기회로까지
have a
이어지기를
good
희망하고
relationship
있고
with our
저희도
partnership
열심히
programs.
지원을 드릴 테니 앞으로 한 2주 정도 기간 내에
For
저희
about 2
플랫폼에
weeks.
이 온보딩을 하실 수 있도록 저희도 최선을
We're
다하고
allowing these 10
프로젝트
teams to get on
팀에서도
board on
도움을
Zingle,
부탁드리겠습니다.
and we'll give them a
감사합니다.
lot of help. Thank you very much.
네, 문경미 대표님, 박혜민 대표님 정말 감사합니다.
Thank you for your words.
제 소개가 너무 늦었는데요. 저는
Here's
이번
my
트라이앵글
introduction.
호스트인 글로벌 블록체인 미디어 투자
I'm the
인큐베이터
co-host
토이민의 김희로 이사입니다. 반갑습니다.
I'm the co-host, Kim Hiro.
네, 오늘 트라이앵글 시즌 1의 심사위원분들을 먼저
Now we'll
소개해드릴까
introduce the
하는데요.
judges of TryAngle Season
글로벌
1.
암호화폐 거래소 BW, BIKI, ETC랩, 한비코, 비트포렉스에서 심사위원을 맡아주시기로 했습니다. 심사위원분들의 소개 우선 들어보겠습니다.
And we'll introduce the judges.
안녕하세요.
Hello.
BK 진혜아라고 합니다.
My name is Jin Hea of BIKI. I'm Chinese.
BK의 이제 블록체인 업계를 통해서 우리 중국과 한국의 관계를 이제 좀
We're bringing together Korea and China through BIKI.
새롭게 발전하고자 노력하고자 지금 열심히
I'm working very hard and studying very hard.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you.
네, 안녕하세요.
Hello.
BW.com의
I'm
김채범이라고
from
합니다.
BW.com.
먼저 이렇게 멋진 행사를
Thank you
주최하시고
for
그다음에
creating
저희를
this
초대해
wonderful
주신
event.
그리고
Star and
젠글
Tech
관계자분들께 정말
and
진심으로
Zingle.
감사히 말씀을 드리고요.
Thank you.
저는 이제 중국의 이제 GB 그룹의 BW.com에서 나왔는데 10개 유망한 프로젝트가 있다고 해서 정말 기대가 되고
I'm really interested and excited
프로젝트
to see the 10 projects that will be
관계자분들께서는
introduced
잘
today.
준비하셔서 좋은 성과 거두시길 바라겠습니다.
I hope all the teams
감사합니다.
will prepare very well and have good results. Thank you.
안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 이더리움 클래식 랩스의 신선호입니다.
Hello, I'm from
지금
Ethereum.
블록체인 관련해서 투자를 하고 있고요. 저희 뒤에 이제 아시다시피 DCG, TFG, IOHK, 그다음에 폭스콘이 저희 함께 유명한 프로젝트를 발굴하고 있고 지금
We're doing many famous projects at the
중심으로 지금 1년
moment, as you
동안 약
know.
300개 정도의 프로젝트를 컨택을 해서 지금
Right now in San
40개 정도의
Francisco, we're in contact with
프로젝트를
300
지원을
other
하고
projects.
있고요. 이번에 좋은 기회가 돼서 한국
And hopefully,
프로젝트도
through
함께 할
this
수 있는
event,
기회가 있으면 좋겠습니다.
we'll have some more projects from Korea. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Ignace from BitKoi It's very nice to be here, and it's always good to learn new things. So I hope today we can learn a lot about new projects, new ideas, and we'd like to help each other as much as possible. Thank you.
여러분 다 함께 도와서 잘 알 수 있었으면 좋겠습니다.
안녕하세요. 그 비트포렉스 한국 법인에서 BD팀 리스팅 팀장 김민혁이라고 합니다.
Hello, I'm from
우선
Bitforex.
이렇게 좋은 프로젝트
Thank you for creating this good project and event.
좋은 프로젝트를 선별해서 글로벌 시장에 조금 더 나아갈 수 있도록
We're hoping that through this event that Korean startups will be able to go global.
정말 좋은 성과 있기를 바라겠습니다.
We're hoping all 10 projects will have good results. Thank you.
네, 이번 트라이앵글 시즌 1에 심사위원으로 나오시는 거래소분들은 각각 프로젝트를 하나씩 픽하셔서 무료
The
상장
judges here
기회를
today will
제공해 드릴
each
예정이고요.
choose one
또한
project
스폰서로
to
참가하고
sponsor.
있는 아이닥스, 디지파이넥스 코리아, 디지파이넥스 코리아, TJ, 비트마트 등 거래소에서도 무료 상장 기회를 제공하고 있습니다.
We have
이
other
외에도
sponsors here that are here to
탑10에
help you guys go ICO.
분들은 모두에게 거래소 우선 상장권, 우선 상장 심사가 제공될 예정이며 글로벌 암호화폐 투자회사에서의 투자 기회 또한 제공될 예정입니다. 네, 그럼
And
첫 번째 프로젝트
all 10 projects will have opportunities of investment in cryptocurrency.
네, 모시겠습니다.
Our first up is the We Home. This is We Home Cho Sang-gu, CEO of We Home. Now we're in a shared economy. Shared economy is now the boom. Airbnb is an example. It's only 11 years old. It's bigger than many hotel accommodation companies combined. But the biggest problem is that it is unfair. But all the value is taken by Airbnb, although they say it's a shared economy. So we're hoping that through We Home, we can bring fairness through shared lodging. How? Through blockchain. We're saying that it's a cooperative, and we're going to use the philosophy of blockchain to use a cooperative shared accommodation company. Airbnb is a monopoly. It's a company. Companies don't exist for people who get involved. It's for those who invest. But with blockchain, we're going to change a company to a community. We're going to create new rules to shared lodging. We Home is in the community, whereas Airbnb and the community are different. We think We Home will become Airbnb 2.0. We'll give the same quality that Airbnb provides with 0% commissions and incentives. There are fees on Airbnb, but on We Home there are no fees. But because there are no fees, many hosts on Airbnb will come to We Home. Just like Facebook and other social networks, there's no fee for initial use, but using those users, we can create profit. have done a shared lodging company in Korea for 8 years. We started even before it was known in Korea. And we used a token economy in that company as well, so we know it very well. Our 8-year experience provided a lot of insight for us to be able to go global. Now we're doing something called Seoul Metro Stay. We're working with the Seoul Metro. And we have done an MOU with the Seoul Metro Transit. But the biggest problem right now is that shared economies are illegal right now in Korea. So right now we have appealed. And hopefully by next week, our appeal will be approved. And then we will be the only legal shared lodging company in Korea. These are our members that have been with us for 8 years and new members that have come on. We also have a board of advisors. We have launched our service today, this year. You can already reserve a room on WeHome, and you can use cryptocurrency to rent rooms. And because we have an 8-year experience and we have running services and already a working platform, we're confident that WeHome will be successful. Cannot lie, Airbnb really does a good job, but we're hoping that WeHome, using blockchain, will become the next Airbnb. Thank you very much.
블록체인 공유 숙박 플랫폼 위홈이었습니다. 두 번째는
Thank you, WeHome.
대표님
Next up is
모셔보겠습니다.
Medius. Oh, sorry, there will be a question and answer session.
So, as an exchange, it's always important to list tokens that provide utility to the users. So, could you detail a bit more how your utility token is really a utility token, and what value does it bring to the people who buy your token?
어떤 식으로 토큰이 이제 제공되고 바이오 토큰이 될 건지.
Make a reservation in WeHome with the WeHome token, then they can save 15% of the, at least 50% of the cost. So that's the very direct, the value. And right now we have integrated MetaMask and BitBerry, so they can buy our token from the CPDAX. Where home token is listed, and then they can pay by MetaMask or BitBerry, or they may pay using the direct address. We are providing the QR code so that they can choose the way to pay. But eventually, we have two token systems. We compensate by waiving the service fee, but we are keeping their participation, and eventually we're going to count their volume or the wage to participate as kind of voting power. Eventually they can manage it. They can participate our platform for over time for evolving.
Sorry, feedback question. You mentioned just briefly you have two token system. So one is stable and one is utility token. So which one do you exactly use for?
Actually, we have tokens. One is for utility. That's the usual home token. And besides the home token, we have home diamond inside our system to give some reward. Based on our governance or reward system, we're gonna retune how we can compensate or how we can bring the benefit. For example, the guest may be more care about their participation or voting power, then they may get the reward, not waiving of the subsidy. So there is some room to we're gonna tune over time.
네. 공유 숙박에 관련하셔가지고 지금 가장 잘 하고 있는 에어비앤비를 예로 말씀을 들어주셨는데요.
You gave an example of Airbnb.
플랫폼에서 위홈이랑 비슷한 모델의 트립페어가 있잖아요.
There's already a similar service called TripFare on blockchain.
유저를 가지고 있고 어떻게 보면은 블록체인 기술을 사용해서 탈중앙화된 숙박 플랫폼을
that already use blockchain to have a decentralized shared lodging.
그 친구가 탈중앙화 되어 있지 않은 에어비앤비 말고 이미 똑같은 아이디어를 가지고 비즈니스를 진행하고 있는 그런 플랫폼과 비교했을 때 위홈의 강점은 어떤 건지 좀 듣고 싶습니다.
WeHome with a decentralized shared lodging service. What are the advantages?
컨셉으로 제일 먼저 추진한 건 비토큰입니다.
The first thing is BitToken.
회사가 있고요. 또 다른 몇 개 회사가 있습니다.
And there are a few other
에어비앤비 2등 생각나세요? 에어비앤비 2등. 예를 들어서
Does anyone know the second ranking to Airbnb? For example, if you think of Uber, there is Lyft and other taxi services. But why isn't there a second place to Airbnb? Because shared lodging is not just a place to reserve rooms. It's not like a hotel. It's shared lodging of personal people's personal homes.
그래서 많은 사람들이 그러니까 인터미디에이터 없는 뭔가를 중개를 한다고 하는데 공유 숙박의 본질적인 서비스를 제대로 알면 그 얘기를 할
If you
수가
know
없습니다.
the fundamentals of a shared lodging service, it's hard to have a non-intermediary.
똑같은 거 추구한다고 해도 실질적으로 에어비앤비를 비트할 수 있는 가치를 만들려면
In order to have the same values and quality as Airbnb, you need that much experience, in my opinion. BitToken already got rid of their service.
공유 숙박 쪽에 전문성을 가지고 블록체인을 이용해서 에어비앤비에 준하는 서비스를 제공하면서 거기에다가 수수료가 없고 인센티브를 제공하는 이런 모델로서 할 수 있는 것이 유일하다고 봅니다.
Is the only service that has 8 years of experience and will provide 0% commission rates.
안녕하세요. 제가 이 방면에 잘 몰라서 그러는데
I don't know this field very well, so my question may seem a little simple, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
저희 공유 숙박을 이용해서 지금 8년 동안 경영하셨는데
You have already had 8 years of experience with shared lodging. What is your success rate and what is your retention rate?
두 번째 문제는
And secondly,
저희 공유 플랫폼도 굉장히 많아요.
there are many shared platforms using tokens to find lodging, etc. What is so revolutionary about WeHome? What makes WeHome different?
미래 발전 방향도 부탁합니다. 세 가지. 감사합니다.
가장 아픈 질문이다. 가장
This is
핵심적인 질문을 하셨네요. 8년 동안
the most fundamental question in my opinion. What did you do for the last 8 years?
6년은
During the last 8 years, for 6 years,
지난 2년은
we did accommodations.
블록체인 이용해서 조합형
And then for the last 2 years, we used blockchain
6년 동안
with shared lodging.
한옥 코자자란 이름이었다가 지금 유흥으로 바꿨는데 한옥 스테이 그런
We
것부터
did
일반화시킨
Hanok
거
Stay.
국내
We
유일한
made
공유 숙박 플랫폼으로서
that localized.
다양한 대체 숙박들을 공유 숙박의 신뢰 플랫폼으로 다시 재개편하는 것 이런 것들 많이 했지만 본질적으로 가장 큰
But fundamentally, the biggest obstacle was that shared lodging is illegal in Korea. So we had to find other ways to get along, but it was very hard to, in compared to Airbnb. We also had obstacles regarding marketing. Although we did get a lot of spotlight, we didn't honestly get as much traction as we would have liked.
그래서 MC 미트도 와서 같이 머물다든가 이런 경우가 있었죠. 비즈니스적으로 그렇게 성공하지 못했고 가장 큰 이유는 내부 숙박으로 특화하지 못했던 점이 하나고요. 두 번째는 가장 큰 차별점은 증명해야 될 거라고 봅니다. 지금까지는 에어비앤비 2등이 없는 에어비앤비하고 경쟁을 해서 전 세계적으로 그 2등이 되는 그 목표. 그다음에 내 국내에서는
is our confidence in our experience. We're hoping to become second to Airbnb. Then we will be, if the appeal that we did gets approved next week, we will become the only standing legal shared lodging company in Korea.
LGU 플러스 대기업 그만두고 공유 숙박 시작했을 때 제 모토는 오프라인의 페이스북이 되자는 거였습니다.
We want to become the offline
모든 걸
Facebook.
사람들이 공유하는 플랫폼이 페이스북이라면 오프라인에서 사람들이
If Facebook is the online platform where people share everything, we're hoping that we can become the offline platform where we can share our lives with each other.
그렇게 해볼 수도 있겠다. 그런 비전을 가지고
And the last few years have given us confidence that WeHome will do well in the future. Thank you very much.
네, 지금까지 블록체인 공유 숙박 플랫폼 위홈이었고요. 두 번째 프로젝트 메디우스
Next up is
대표님
Medius.
모셔보겠습니다.
Thank you.
안녕하세요.
Hello.
블록체인 메디컬 SNS 플랫폼 메디우스의 박소연입니다. 반갑습니다.
I'm from Medius, the blockchain medical social networking system platform. We are trying to revolutionize the medical ecosystem for, of, and by the patients. And using blockchain, we're hoping that patients can honestly review their medical experiences so that we can customize finding doctors.
여러분의 경우에는 어떠세요? 본인이
How are you guys when you guys get sick or someone around you gets sick? Do you guys usually search online for doctors? But most of the information that you find online, around 60 to 70% of it, is false advertising. So it's kind of hard to trust sometimes. And there are many apps out there already that help you find doctors based on your location. So even if you are lucky that you find a doctor that is good for you, it doesn't mean that that doctor is good for everyone else. Right now we're living in a world where everyone lives to about 100, and people take medical trips to other countries to get cheaper medical services. So it's becoming more and more important that we have proper medical review services. Medius is a platform where the patient gets involved and puts their reviews of their experience, and they get rewarded in return. So using this data, we can
솔루션입니다.
recommend doctors depending on each
이런
patient's
것들은 지금 보시는
needs.
것처럼 저희가 블록체인 기술을 비롯해서 빅데이터 그리고 AI 기술들이 접목이 되어서
We're using big data, blockchain, and AI technology to make this happen.
정부나 또는 그 평가가 되어 있는 정량적 데이터들은 존재하고 있습니다. 그래서 기본적인 병원과 의사에 대한 저희 정량적 데이터를 기반으로 환자들이 참여한 정성적 데이터가 모여져서 평판 시스템이 구축이 되어지는데요.
So we're going to use different types of data provided by patients so that we can have a fairly judged system of doctors.
사용 후기라는 거가 병원 의사분들이 받아들이기에는
So
네거티브한
there are many places where you can review things, but usually reviews of doctors are pretty negative. So it's hard to just base everything on negative experiences.
평가하는 평가의 범위가 있습니다. 다 200개 정도의 평가 카테고리별로
So we have around 200 categories where patients can review their medical experiences and using special keywords. And we are a recommending service.
나쁘다라는 거에 대한 로 데이터가 오픈되어지는 것이 아니라
So we're not exposing all the raw data of each patient's experience. We're using the experience of the information of the patients to recommend proper medical care and doctors to patients who need new doctors.
그래서 지금 보시는 것처럼 환자들은 굉장히 많은 특징과 상태들이 다른 조건들을 가지고 있습니다.
So patients always have a different list of ailments and needs. So we're going to use all of that data to recommend the best suitable doctor for each patient. We're trying to find the best doctor for every person. This is a personal, customized service. So the more data that we get, the more accurate this service will become. And this will improve medical experiences and also the medical ecosystem. Right now, we're in an era of search engines, but I think we're going to move into an era of recommending services. Our system will become more and more strong as we get more data. So not only can we use this data to recommend doctors, but we can also recommend nursing homes or programs or products as well. So we also have different business models. So people who share their medical experience data with us will get tokens and be able to use those tokens within our platform. Before we began our B2C service, we launched a B2B app, and we're working with many organizations at the moment. The biggest difference between us and other services is that we're basing our data on medical experiences. We are using the actual experience reviews of patients, so our data is more quickly analyzed. Right now, around 50,000 people are registered as users on our app, and we're thinking by the end of the year, around 100,000 people. By We're hoping to release our B2C app by December.
실질적인 플랫폼을 완성을 하려고 합니다. 저희는 IT 그리고 제약, 메디컬
We have many people from IT, medical programs, and marketing all together as one team.
그리고 경희대 병원 원장을 지내신 유명철 원장님이나
And we have famous doctors from Kyung University and Yonsei University.
원장을 지내신 정의원 원장님 등 대한민국 최고의 의료기관의 병원장을 지내신 분들과
They are one of the most famous doctors in the country, and they're on our advisory board.
지금 저희 볼빅이라던가 그다음에 안강건설 그다음에 밥솥회사로 유명한 부채 그리고 코맥스 그다음에 제가 데니엘이라는 회사 여러 기업들하고 지금 B2B 계약을 맺고
We are currently in contract with very famous companies.
그래서 최근에 가장 화두가 되는 게 실생활 토큰으로서의 얘기들이 굉장히 많이 나오는데요. 저희는 블록체인 기술이
So we're going to,
거를 굳이 얘기하지 않아도 검증
so instead of
서비스를 저희 앱을 통해서 제공하고 검증 결과를 저희 플랫폼을 통해서 제공받게 됩니다.
So instead of advertising that we are a blockchain company, we're using our marketing tactics, saying that we are a review company.
지금 런칭될 서비스는요. 전국의 병원 의사의 통합 추천 검색 서비스입니다. 그래서 저희가 블록체인 메디컬 SNS 서비스인데
Right now, we're in the works of making a blockchain medical social media service
형태로 제공할 예정입니다. 단순하게 검색만
where you can search for doctors and hospitals similar to a social media network.
SNS 형태로 네트워킹이 되어지니까
And you can network between patients and doctors or patients and hospitals.
제공이 되어질 예정입니다. 그리고 외국인 환자 병원 추천 서비스 사이트가 지금 저희가 별도로 지금 운영이 되어지고 있는데
And we also have another site where we are recommending medical services in Korea to people abroad.
지금 현재 서울대, 연세대 병원을 비롯해서 100여 개 병원이 저희가
We have over 100 hospitals that we are in collaboration with, including Seoul University.
파트너들과 협업이 이루어져 있고 지금 미국의
And also, we are working with a healthcare venture
개인 건강
in the States.
제공할 예정입니다. 지금 보시는 것처럼 크라소티는 약품 결제 서비스를 국내에 한 2만 군데 정도씩 서비스를 제공하고 있는 회사입니다.
And Creso Tea is a pharmaceutical brand. We are in partnership with them, and the CEO of this company is also on our advisory board. So we're trying to also get data from the pharmacies as well. Thank you very much.
Hello. 한국어는 힘들어요. So I agree that health is probably the second most important thing after
제
our
생각에는
family.
건강은 두 번째로 가장
But
인생에서
in
중요한
this
것
case,
같은데요.
it treats our
이런
health.
경우에는
So how you will take care that people like review system suffer from a lot of fraud. Companies they'll
자,
still
어떻게
manage
이런
to
가짜
make
리뷰를
fake
필터링할
reviews.
것인지
How
이런
are you
리뷰들을
going to take care of these
어떤
fake
식으로
reviews?
이런
What system are you going to use
리뷰에 대해서
to,
대처하실 것인지에 대해서
you know,
알고
avoid
싶습니다.
fake reviews in your system?
네, 이런 가짜 리뷰를 어떻게 피하실 것인지.
제일 많이 질문들을 하시는
It's one of the most common questions that we get.
저희가 블록체인을 적용하는 부분에 있어서 대부분의 메디컬 프로젝트들이 의료 정보 쪽을 블록체인을 하겠다.
Many medical related blockchains use medical information, but we're using medical experiences as a basis.
검색되어지는 데이터를 병원이나 마케팅 회사에서 사실은 여러 불법적인 것 또는
So when you search for a doctor or a hospital online, you find a lot of fraud reviews. So they're hard to trust. But we're going to use actual patients who went to a certain hospital or met a certain doctor using perhaps their receipts as proof. So we're going to have a way of identifying. And then we're going to use, instead of using personalized reviews, we're going to have a list of keywords that these patients can use to put up their reviews by. And as the platform grows, I believe that there's going to be a way that we can connect with actual medical information. So we're thinking that maybe we can connect with the kiosks where you can check into hospitals. So we can access the data of who visited which hospital when. But right now we're focusing on the medical reviews for now. Thank you very much.
네, 블록체인 메디컬 SNS 메디우스였습니다.
Thank you,
다음
Medius.
프로젝트는 직톡 대표님 모시겠습니다.
And now we're going to move on to TikTok. Hello, my name is Abraham Kim of TikTok. We're currently running a P2P language education platform. Sorry. TikTok is a platform where anyone in the world can use their phone to study language. They can call a tutor, or using your knowledge of language, you can become a tutor. There are 1.8 billion people in the world who are currently studying a foreign language. I'm sure many of you here are right now in the middle of studying a language. And there are people all over the world that are learning Korean as well. But the biggest problem is it's hard to find people to study with, because in Korea where I live, there aren't many foreigners that I can access to study. And you need to practice a lot in order to become good at a certain language. So many people go overseas or go as foreign exchange students. So we're hoping that this platform connects these people worldwide without having to leave anywhere. So in order to solve this problem, we started in 2015, and we launched Android and iOS on 2017. Right now we have about 100,000 users. Of those, about 1,800 are tutors. Of those, 200 are licensed professional teachers. The other 1,600 aren't professionals, but they're there to help other people who want to learn their native tongue. Right now we have 100,000 people who are learning language on our platform. So the regular tutors charge $5 per hour of phone conversation. The licensed teachers, however, can set their own rates. So users can choose whether they can speak with a regular native speaker or with a professional licensed teacher. And you are charged by the minute. So for example, maybe for $1, you can get 10 minutes of study time. So this is our working app. You can search by language, and you can find the tutors that are online at the moment that you are searching for that language. And you guys can do a free call as long as you are online. And each tutor has a profile. You can see their license, certifications, etc., and their rates as well. And if they're online, you can request for a call. So you can say that TikTok is an all-in-one system. Everything is done on the app, the calls. You can do video calls and chats. You can use the entire screen to talk to your teacher. Or we also provide topic cards. So if you run out of conversation, you guys can watch the topic cards and speak on different topics. So you can use this screen to have a study session. And after each session, you guys can leave a review. Both the tutor and the student leave reviews of each other. So this is a good way to filter out the bad users. So when we connect students and tutors, we think the best way to improve a language is to make friends. So we're going to provide a social media within the app as well, where you can add your own content and you guys can like or comment with people abroad. Because it's so difficult to find friends who speak different languages, we're hoping that this program will be a way for people to become friends worldwide and also increase in their knowledge of foreign languages. Around 70% of our users are from 18 to 34 years of age. 22% of all our users are from Korea. The rest are from all over the world. And they are learning a variety of different languages. The reason that we want to incorporate blockchain in TikTok is because of micropayments. Before, Bitcoin was a way of micropayment, but we launched our own token system this year. So users and tutors can receive rewards by dollars or by tokens. The reason why blockchain is helpful is because you can have a fast transfer and zero transfer rates, or low transfer rates, I'm sorry. And the ability, there's no minimum transfer amount. For example, if I were to reward a tutor $1, the rates are so high. If we use tokens, we can lower the commission rates from 50% down to 5%. We're hoping that this token is not just a reward, but also as holders. We're going to distribute tokens to our users. We're going to distribute 50% of our tokens to the users. depending on the actions of the users, or recommending someone, or continuous use of the app. So right now we've been talking about language exchange. We're hoping to get 1 million users by 2019. But using our marketplace, like Amazon, who started selling books but now they sell everything, we're hoping that we can sell not just language, but other expertise, legal advice or consulting, etc. And we will get permission from our users to use this data as part of the big data for future endeavors. This is our team, 4 developers. I'm the founder. We have been together for 4 years. We have many media partnerships. Thank you very much. Thank you for your explanation. One thing I'm curious about, it's a P2P learning app, which there are many of. When compared with other similar apps, what is the strengths of TikTok? We have run this project for a very long time. We started in 2015. Initially, we wanted to use Bitcoin as micropayments in 2015. So for a long time, we've been interested in working with blockchain, and we have a deep understanding of blockchain as well. Many people invest in Bitcoin, but there's no place that they can actually use it. But micropayments make it easy to use services like TikTok. There are many P2P platforms like this that are working and are works in progress, but never really launched. But we have actually launched in 2017. So, and at first, since we did video chat, we had a lot of people who use the app for inappropriate purposes, but we have learned to filter those users out. This app actually requires a lot of different technologies, chat, video chat, social media, etc. But we have developed this over the last 4 years, and we think this is our strength compared to other P2P platforms. You used to use the dollar as a method of payment, but now you're using the TikToken. But for the dollar, you're guaranteed a certain currency rate, but with your tokens, the currency rates can change. As a tutor, wouldn't it be safer for tutors to be rewarded with US dollars instead of the ZIC token? Okay, our token system has not been implemented yet. We're thinking about doing that next year. We're using dollars currently. tutors who are rewarded dollars have an option of cashing out using tokens or cashing out using US dollars. But if you cash out using dollars, there's time and fees. But with tokens, it's almost instantaneous. And there are very low transfer fees. So there are advantages in that aspect. The US dollar payment system is safe, but there are very high fees. But the token system is very instantaneous. So, and you can exchange at exchange stations instantly. Thank you very much.
글로벌 언어 교육 블록체인 서비스 직통. 다음은
Thank you, Ziktok.
발표가 있겠습니다.
Next up is Baby Token.
Hello. Thank you. Can you hear me? Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Almir Salimov. Just a second. I'm presenting a company called Pregnancy Tracker and our project called Baby Token. We call it Everyone First Money because we're going to distribute cryptocurrency to millions of kids since the very, very beginning. So let me give you a brief introduction. Our company is registered in Hong Kong, and we created one of the most popular apps for expectant mothers. Basically, our app is very simple. It provides information on nutrition, on exercise, on the mother's development, and the development of the fetal. We provide very simple but useful services such as week-by-week baby images, contractor timer, tests based on measurements of the mother's body, so we can predict some complications which might develop during the pregnancy. Currently, we have almost 6 million downloads and 750,000 daily active users. Every day, we have about 11,000 downloads from various parts of the world. We are available in 6 languages and currently growing very fast in Latin America. We work with one of the largest FMCG and pharma companies, such as Procter & Gamble, G&G, PepsiCo. We partner with Amazon and AliExpress because we refer millions of moms to those websites who buy all kind of related products on those websites. So this is current our user base. We have a majority of our users coming from Russia for historic reasons. We started in Russia 3 years ago. Now we have about 1.5 million users in Russia. Our audience is very young. 90% of our users are under 35 years old, which makes this project very crypto-friendly. Because according to our research, at least 5% already of our audience want to try crypto if they will benefit. So where's crypto here? $150 billion, that's the market capitalization of Bitcoin. But it's also annual sale of pregnancy-related and birth-related products. So every year, moms using cryptocurrency can buy a lot of services and products through our marketplace. And our market is also very big because we kind of making a family of apps. We have pregnancy tracker at the moment, but we're building baby tracker and the period tracker. So we're addressing about 1 billion people as a potential audience. So we use crypto pretty much for international remittances. And this is a very strong case. I would like to spend a little bit more time on that. So our idea is to differentiate ourselves from the competitors. And all competing apps, they provide similar content about pregnancy. However, we would like to provide online employment. Imagine a mom wakes up in the morning, open an app, and sees like $2 million to earn today. But those 2 millions don't go to her directly. It goes to all the pregnant women who are using our app. And to earn this money, she needs to complete some simple tasks. And for every task, we will pay $1, $2. So what kind of task it could be? Consumer brands, international FMCG companies, pharma companies, blockchain companies, they all pay money to influencers. Today I checked how much Kim Kardashian charges. So this beauty blogger is famous in US, and she has over 10 million users, followers on Instagram. So she charges up to $250,000 for one Instagram picture. So imagine what we can do. We can get this 250,000 and pay this $250,000 to 250,000 moms in Brazil or any other country. And every mom will make a post on Instagram and Facebook with our special hashtag. So our payment bot using Facebook API or Instagram API finds this post and pays her $1. So moms can also generate a lot of content because during the last months of pregnancies, they typically out of the job and they need extra income. So they can provide like some popular content like unboxing video or pictures with vitamins, pictures with baby clothes, etc. So this is the basic use case how we can use blockchain for payments. And our token is a utility token that will be used in the app to provide access to jobs for expectant mothers. So this is how it can look potential in the future. So say we provide jobs, offline jobs, like babysitting, tutoring, training, and online jobs, such as like PR and marketing, which I explained. So on the lucky day, a mom can earn up to $150. And she can also spend in our marketplace and telemedicine service. So the total turnover could be as high as $300 per user per day. And I remind you, we have 250,000 daily users at the moment, and we're growing very fast. So this is our fundraising history. As I said, we started 3 years ago. Recently, this month, we completed a round investment series for $1.6 million. We got some good support also for our token sales, which is currently starting. We already got some investment offers from Mainnet Ontology. So I'm still looking for friends, so add me in my WeChat or Telegram if you're interested to know more. Thank you.
If anyone has any questions? Does anyone have any questions?
So if you have any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Art Block. I know you guys are all tired, so the thank you, you might think I'm done, but I'll only be 5 minutes. Hello, my name is June Kim of Art Block. It's, of course, going to be about art. Art is asset. This is our motto, art is the new asset class. This is the Dow Jones average graph. And this red line is something very different compared to the Dow Jones average. What do you think this is? This is Andy Warhol's flowers series picture value. This graph shows how art can become a very valuable asset. But how? What can become an asset? Here's another graph. This is the current transactions going on, legal transactions going on in the world. The volume of art, it's very saturated, about 70 billion US dollars. This is because in order for art to become an asset, you need to invest. So you have to become a collector, and you have to hold on to the art pieces. So this is why it's hard, is because anything that is deemed investable in the art world is very, very expensive. And in order to become valuable as an asset, you need to have a portfolio of art pieces. But Art Block is different. We're tokenizing the rights to a certain art piece and selling the tokens to users. So are we trying to change the entire art economy? No. We're just trying to change the way possession works in the art economy. So we tried this out with 2 pieces by David Hockney. Here's the video from that event. Turn it up.
꼭 소수만이 작품을 소유하는 게 아니라 다수의 대중들도 소유하고 그거에 대해서 자기 권리를 주장할 수 있는 시장들이 만들어지길 바랍니다. 그리고 그걸 만들도록 하는 게 저희의 역할인 것 같습니다.
데이비드 호크니 작품을 9,900원에 소유할 수 있다고 해서 행사에 와봤는데요. 일단은 10,000원이 안 되는 가격으로 미술 작품을 가질 수 있다는 것 자체가
이 투자할 가치가 있다는 거를 좀 많이 알게 된 것 같아요.
요즘 예술이라는 게 투자 가치가 좀 다양해지고 있는데요. 아트블록이라는 시스템을 이용하면은 좀 미술 시장의 파이가 커질 수 있고 우리가 좀 더 즐길 수 있는 폭이 늘어날 것 같다라는 생각이 들어서 저도 좀 즐거운 경험이었고 호크니를 좀 새롭게 만나볼 수 있는 기회였다라는 생각이 좀 들었던 것 같아요.
This was on September 19th. About 90% of the people who came to this event were non-crypto people. We had more than 600 people apply. About 350 people came to the event, listened to our explanation and presentation, and 150 people bought tokens on the spot. So we are continuing to sell ownership certificate tokens. Instead of giving you guys just an idea, we wanted to show you something that actually worked. These are 2 works by David Hockney. The one on the left, 8,900 ownership certification tokens. The one on the right is 5,900. 250 people bought tokens. On average, they each bought about 10. Somebody bought 200 tokens. Of the 250, 130 people didn't even take a look at the art piece. People from Canada, Brazil, overseas, they never came to the event, but they bought tokens. And 71% of the people were in their 20s and 30s. The art market is mainly two areas. The first area is very expensive gallery artwork. If you wanted to sell artwork to the real world, usually it's very cheap. But right now, the world wants very expensive investable pieces, and that's where art block comes in. David Hockney did a exhibition in Korea. About 350,000 people came to that exhibition. Many people are interested in art. Right now we call our tokens OCT. But depending on each piece, we're going to name the tokens differently so that it's easy to recognize. Right now, all we're doing is distributing ownership certificate tokens at the moment. Anything else you guys can ask with questions. Thank you very much.
Maybe I missed, sorry, but could you clarify, does that token give a part of a painting or art object?
제가 지금 몇 가지 놓친 것 같은데 이 토큰을 사면은 그 파일의 일부분을 사용할 수 있는 건가요? 네, 그렇습니다. 그리고 이제 합법적으로 그 예술품에 대한 계약서를
So in this case, a person
작성하면
owns a part of that painting, and most of the time it's because of investment value that people invest. So doesn't it become a security token in this situation?
이것은 그러면 안전성 토큰이 되는 것이 아닐까요?
First, 50%. One is they expect financial value,
토큰이 50%
but they are not urgent.
50대 50으로
So
나눠서
I wanted to
50%는
invest in the art.
파이낸셜.
And also, one other one is they got some another value that is not spiritual, that is emotional value. So I can be collector with small money to their masterpiece. So we satisfy them. That's why they like it. They join us.
So in this case, it becomes a security token.
Yeah.
그래서 이런 경우에는 이제
But
시큐리티 토큰이
we
되는
already
것이죠.
talked to some lawyers and all the Korean government
이런
rules.
경우에는 이제
Not exactly security tokens because according to the Korean law, this is the
로펌과 얘기를
product,
했지만
not their
정확하게는 시큐리티
company,
토큰이
not
아닙니다.
their some real estate. So they have some gray zone. So
그래서 여기
exactly
저희 아트
nobody
토큰
can
같은
say.
경우는 이제 그레이션에 속하기
So
때문에
currently that is the
이제
status.
정확하게
Anyway, we're
시큐리티
gonna
토큰이라고
also
정의하기
apply the
때문에
sandbox.
애매한 부분이
So we
있습니다.
are preparing the
부동산
whole
그리고 이제
the structure and also in the legal opinion.
이제 부동자산에 이제 토큰하고 비교가 됩니다.
I don't know much about culture, so it was a very fun presentation. The first question I have is how can you determine that each piece is the original? We wanted to go to ICO, but we didn't yet. I thought that we should create a market for this platform first, and we're selling tokens first. You're right. That is why we're only working with masterpieces. For these two pieces I mentioned before, these are new pieces of David Hockney.
또는 위탁을 받는 케이스들이 있습니다. 그것들은 미술 작품에는 프로비던스라는 게 있습니다. 일명 족보라고 얘기하죠. 그거에 대한 히스토리 검증들을 통해서
So
그다음에 저희 혼자 걸
we can
이번 작품은
get new pieces using provenance of each art piece, which is the history of where each art piece has been.
블록체인으로 결국은 항상 블록체인에도 오라클에 대한 이슈도 있죠. 정보를
There's always an issue of Oracle on blockchain.
토큰을 하는 이유는 이 부분입니다.
The reason we're doing tokens is because
기존에 있는 메커니즘들을 사용해야 합니다. 근데 이 작품에 대한 오너십은 캡 테이블을 공개를 해야죠. 이 캡 테이블이 어떻게 움직이는지
So we're going to release the data of the ownership on Haptable.
그 다음부터는 또 거기에 또 피처들을 애드하면서 갈 예정입니다. 그래서 자산성이기 때문에 더 중요한 건
Because it's an asset,
오너십 캡 테이블을 클리어하고
we have
트랜스퍼런시하게
to be very transparent with ownership cap tables.
간단한 질문이 단순할 수도 있는데요. 그러니까 실물이잖아요. 만약에 그러니까 디지털 제품이 실물이기 때문에
This is an actual physical piece.
작품에 도난이 발생이 되면
What if the piece gets stolen? What happens to the investors? What a great question.
저희는 투자자라고 표현하지 않습니다.
We don't call them investors. We call them micro collectors.
장치를 마련해야 합니다.
We have to find a way to secure
프라이머리 세일로
their asset.
한 개 9,000.
So first thing is insurance.
그 가격을 개런티를 해주는 일단 보험을 들어서
So they can buy insurance of the amount that they have bought. The second, we are in talks with many law firms. We are actually a art custodian. So we're trying to find other ways that we can secure the assets of our micro collectors. So we're getting a lot of advice from finance institutions. Thank you for your explanation. So now there are people who actually have ownership tokens. The first reason might be for investment purposes. The other reason might be people who actually want to see the art piece itself. Is there going to be a way for people who have ownership tokens to see the piece itself? So right now it's on display, and we're hoping to display it someplace in Gangnam. So when people who have ownership of such pieces, they don't come by themselves. They actually come with friends or family. Art collectors have a tendency to want to show off their pieces. So we're trying to find a way for those who have ownership to always have access to view their pieces. So this has to be made known to the public. And I think this is a good way to have other people learn about Art Block. Thank you very much.
다음은 맥플로.
So hello everyone. Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Yusra, and I'm here to represent MacBlock. MacBlock is a next generation open source blockchain protocol with industry leading transaction speed. Basically, MacBlock is the fastest blockchain protocol existing in the whole world. And today I'm here to introduce the new chain that MacBlock has introduced that is called EIC. So before I jump into my presentation, I would like first to speak about the problem that the EIC chain came to solve, that is unfair advertisement business model. Like looking at the PPT here, let's say, for example, a company would like to advertise its own products using a platform, let's say a social media, to get to its users. So basically, looking at the revenue share, the whole business model only empower one party, that is the social media, whereas the user, he gives out his attention and data for free, and also the company might not even get 50% on return of its investment. So as a user, you will think that your content, your data, your attention is traded for free to serve third parties. So that's why MacBlock has decided to provide a solution for this business model and create a chain called AIC by creating different smart devices combining both AI technology and blockchain technology. We believe that every device that has a screen, we can use it to advertise a certain product. But what if we combine both AI technology and blockchain to solve this unfair business advertisement model? So our first product that we have just launched is Atomic Genie, and by next year we plan to launch a PC called MacBox and also other devices. So what is Atomic Genie? Atomic Genie is an AI smart speaker combining both AI and blockchain technology. It has different features like intelligent voice assistant, HD video call, massive audio visual content, kids protection mode, and also this device, unlike other AI speakers, have the power to mine. So users actually are earning some tokens, that is AAC, the token of the chain. So you can basically ask Genie anything you want, from how is the weather today to play your favorite song, to anything, basically anything you want. You can even ask Genie to give you the price of the Bitcoin today, or also help you to buy like a specific cryptocurrency. It connects you to a world of massive content and entertainment. And this is how the digital broadcast of the cryptocurrency will look like if you ask Genie to tell you how much a specific token. And the next generation of this device will have the face recognition function that will allow you to buy directly. No need to go through all the hassle of like KYC and everything. The first time the device can recognize your face, basically Genie will do everything for you. So Genie came here to make your life easier. So this is to show you how EIC chain will empower the user. What about the companies, or how EIC chain can be used for different business models? So EIC is based on MacBlock chain and is the first chain offering different AI smart devices, combining both blockchain and AI technologies. As I mentioned before, it will introduce next year a series of different AI devices, such as laptop and other AI products backed by blockchain operation system. Right now, we have a total of token supply of 1 billion AAC. So now let's go back to that business model and look at it from the perspective of AAC solution. So now let's say you have decided to use our AAC chain to advertise your products. So AAC chain will give you like a special background. You just need to register on the chain. The EIC chain will provide you with all the data. Let's say, for example, now the product is available in China. 10,000 people are owning, let's say, Atomic Genie. So you can track where the devices are online. For example, most of the online Atomic Genie devices are online in this area. This area, they are offline. So you can see how many people they are owning Atomic Genie, who are online or not online. You also can track what time mostly users are online, because those people who are owning Atomic Genie, they are real people. And like social media, that one person maybe can even own 10 accounts, and you're thinking there are actually 10 people. So basically, it can provide you with all the solutions. So EIC chain, instead of just like being the person that's empowered by the advertisement, it's just simply connect company with the user. So once the advertisement is played on EIC devices, the user actually is earning reward for giving out his attention and his data. The company is making sure that they are really reaching out to the right target, complete transparency, revenue fairness share, and a very accurate data. So EIC chain is a proof that blockchain will take over very, very soon. And having an AI device combined with the blockchain technology came here to provide different solutions for different businesses. For those ones who are very interested in EIC token, it will be available on BW Exchange. Thank you so much for your attention.
Maybe 3 questions.
Okay.
But first of all, is the token gonna be used in AI device? How much that device, like what's the retail cost of that device? And
the retail price is 299 USD. Yes.
Okay. And the token itself is going to be used in that device?
As a reward system to the user, and also, for example, you are a company and would like to advertise your own product in our chain, you must deposit EIC. So you have to buy it from the exchange as a payment to EIC chain, to use EIC chain. So that's what the token is used for.
And that retail price, does it cover all your costs of developing the product?
Well, for
very curious, because obviously it's very expensive to develop a device like that. Then are you planning to sell it globally or just in China?
As first China, and then we're going to be we will launch the product globally next year. Right now, it only supports Chinese language, but next year we'll support Korean and other languages. For the cost, because actually it was built using our mainnet, because actually MacBlock is a blockchain infrastructure, and so that's what explained the price. And we also have like a technology company, so that's, I think, that explained the price.
Like a normal person, I have a Google Home at home, so why would I choose that device? Just because I can get some like tokens when I use the device? Is it AI engine better than, like, for example, Google AI?
It's faster, definitely, and also it's powered by the blockchain technology. Of course, your data is very safe. Everything is transparent, unlike other devices, because they give out your data for free to others. Talking about like the AI devices you mentioned. So, and also you can earn rewards for using the product, and for sure the value of the AIC will go higher and higher. So it's like a more like fair rewarding system, and also is very transparent. Any else? Do you have more questions? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
We have already met 6 teams. We're going to have a brief break and start in a little while. Thank you.
푸숑. 아니 지금 이제 쉬는 시간 브레이크 타임 그리고 이제 내 거 하나 남았어. 야 진짜 개 싫어. 그 부스 안에서 하니까 좀 낫다 오히려. 그냥 이제 그냥 내 페이스 맞춰서 가니까 뭐라 그러지? 오히려 괜찮았어. 우리도 영어를 잘하는데 영어 잘하거든. 근데 이제 동시통역은 보니까 영어가 좀 괜찮았어. 도와주고. 너는 지금 잘 가고 있는 거야? 잘해서 나왔어? 아, 아이고야 저녁도 못 먹고. 나 하이드라고 하고 싶다. 나도 많이 못 먹지 하이드라고 지금. 이제 많이 먹을 때 가야 돼. 아니야 오히려 많이 못 먹을 때 가야 돼. 맞아. 아 세상에. 아니, 저녁 같이 먹고 가면 좋은데. 맞아. 맞아. 그러면 또 지치니까. 또 내일 너 근데 아침에 일찍 나와. 아 맞네. 예, that's right. 아, 난 어차피 그러니까 너 혼자 다 했어? 내가 해주기로 했잖아. 너 파일 정리해야지. 파일 정리 먼저 하지.
이제 쉬는 시간 종료하겠습니다. 자리에 앉아주세요. 자리에 앉아주세요. 네. 네, 심사위원분들 앞에 착석해 주실게요. 이제 어느 정도 착석하셨으니까 다음 프로젝트 바로 진행하겠습니다. 다음 프로젝트는 캠프입니다.
The next project is camp.
네, 안녕하세요.
Hello. I'm here to introduce camp.
소개를 드리겠는데요.
Here's the introduction.
여기 써 있는 거대로 경제적 불평등과
Camp is the conquest of economic inequality and
써 있는 캠프.
miseries, poverty.
캠프는 임팩트 도네이션이라는 말을 씁니다.
Camp uses the term impact donation.
기존에 가지고 있었던 기부의 순환 구조 자체가
The original way, the cycle of donations, had a lot of problems in my opinion.
기부가 되고 나면
The reason is, for example, when you donate money, people buy clean water, and then you distribute the clean water, and then once the clean water is consumed, people have to drink the dirty water again. So what happens is that the donation cycle has to start again. So it's consumable and it makes people wait. We think that this has a lot of problems and we wanted to fix this problem.
임팩트 도네이션이라는 말로 이 해결 방안을 만들어내고 있습니다.
So we're using the term impact donation to create a solution to this problem.
그다음에 공급 시스템을 만들어내고 그리고
So
그들이 그들의 위치에서
with impact donation, the donation goes to the root of the problem and finds a way for continuous clean water distribution.
그것을 저희는 그래야지만이 이것이 창조적 기부이고
And also using ways to distribute the local goods for continuous profit
여러분이 지금 보시는
that can
지도가
be
세계 강수량
reused
지도입니다.
for finding water supply.
파랄수록 물이 많이 있는 곳이죠.
This is the rainfall map of the world.
아프리카가 그렇게 크게 다른 대륙과
Africa has so much rainfall, but why is there a water problem?
그런데 이 사람들은 왜 힘들까요? 항상 물 때문에 힘들어하는 아프리카를 보면서 왜
The biggest
힘들까요?
problem-
생각해봤습니다. 지하수가 있습니다.
Although Africa has clean waters underground, there is no way for them to bring the water up to ground. And there are wells, but the wells are dirty, and there is no filtration system. Why is that? It is because there is no electricity.
그렇습니다. 아프리카의 문제는
The biggest problem in Africa is not water, it is the lack of
이
electricity.
부분에서 우리는 이 문제를 해결하기 위한 차관점을 만들어냈습니다.
So we're trying to find a solution to this problem.
솔라 캠프라는 이름으로요. 제가 지금부터
Our
보여드리는
first
사진은
solution is Solar Hope
인터넷
Camp.
캡처한 것이 아니라
These pictures
현장에서
are not
우리가 프로젝트라고
something we
찍은
Googled.
동영상을 캡처한 것입니다.
This is all photos that we took
이
on
마을에
the fields.
우리는 조립식 건물을 가지고 들어갔고요.
We bring
거기에
buildings,
태양열 패널을 붙였고
we attach solar
그
panels,
안에 정수장치와
and within those
모터를
containers,
달아서
we install filtration
그들에게
services and
깨끗한 물을
water tanks,
그리고 그
so
물로
we can provide clean water.
이분들은 빵을 만들어 먹었습니다.
And with that clean water, these people made bread to
여러분들이
eat.
지금 보시는 이 우물은 아프리카에서 볼 수 있는
The well that you see in this
우물입니다.
picture is a common well that you see in
아프리카에
Africa.
아직도 이러한 많은 우물들이
There are
존재하고
many
있고
wells
이
like this in
우물에
Africa,
의존하면서 많은
and
마을
the people in
사람들이
Africa have to
물을
depend on wells like
마시고
this
있습니다.
and drink water from these
저희는
wells.
생각합니다.
But we think
아프리카의 모든 우물들은
that most of the
깨끗한
wells,
물을 줄 수 있는 이것을 받게
but we
됩니다.
think that all the wells in Africa right now need
그
to be
다음에
able
우리
to
한
provide
발자국
clean
더
water.
나갔습니다.
And we
왜냐하면
took another step forward.
그들이 스스로 돈을 벌 수 있는 구조를 만들어야
I believe
그들이
that we need
다시
to
더 발전할 수 있습니다.
provide ways for these
그리고
people to
그들이
be
물을
able
공짜로 받아
to
먹는 것이 아니라 물을 사
make
먹을
their
수
own
있는 구조를
profit
만들어야 하니까요.
so that we don't have to provide them water, but they have
에티오피아를
the
예를
economic
들겠습니다.
ability to buy
지금
their
저희
own
파트너가
water.
에티오피아거든요. 에티오피아는
For example, with
1조
Ethiopia,
원이
which is the country we're
하나도
working with at the
1조
moment,
원이 약 넘는 커피 수출국입니다. 그런데 농민의 사정을 들여다보면 그리 좋지 않습니다.
so
커피의
the
무역은
coffee
공정 무역과 일반
industry
무역은
in
아닙니다.
Ethiopia is
일반
2.7
무역을 보다
billion
보는데
US dollars,
사람들이 너무한 거 아니냐라고 해서 붙인 것이 공정 무역이지요.
but
일반
the
무역에서
profits that go to the actual coffee
농민들이
farmers is very low.
얻는 수익은 0.5%에 불과합니다.
It is about 0.5% of this amount,
공정 무역으로 바꿨더니
and that is why
농민들이 얻는 수익이 6%.
fair trade came to be.
우리는 여기서 착안했습니다.
Fair trade provides 6%
이들을 좀 더
of the revenues to
상향시킨다면
coffee farmers, but we believe that we can raise this
그래서
amount
우리는
to even more.
앞에서 말씀드렸었던 그러한 정수장치와 같은 집으로 공장을 만들자라고 생각을 했고 그렇게 한다라면 그들의 수익이 10%로 증가할 수 있겠다라고 계산되어졌고요. 그렇게 된다라면 농민 수익이 0.5%에서 10%니까요. 20배가 증가하게 됩니다.
And we believe that we can raise
저희는 이러한 마을을
the revenues for farmers to 10%, which is 20% higher than the original 0.5.
이 마을에서 공부를 하고 이 마을에서
So we'll build villages like this where people can live, study, get medical care.
병원보다 더 중요한 게 화장실이었습니다.
But what was more important than medical facilities were
깨끗한
bathrooms.
화장실을 제공할 수 있다라면
To be able
그렇다면 이
to
사람들은
provide
여기서
clean
경제자립을 할수
plumbing
있고 자신의
for the
경제를
people
만들어
in
나갈 수
Ethiopia,
있다라고 생각을 했습니다.
we believe that they might be able to build a independent economic system.
이걸 하다 보면 많은 것들이
So
부닥치게
why
됩니다.
blockchain?
가장 대표적인 것들이 5가지 요소의 벽을 느끼게 되는데요.
There are
하나가
5
뭐냐면 신분증에 관한 부분입니다. 이
things
사람이
that
신분증을
make it hard for farmers in Ethiopia to have a independent economic
또
system.
하나는 물류 시스템이라는
There's
것이
no
존재하지
proper
않습니다.
identification system
물을 받았는데
for
그게 기부금이 제대로
safe
들어가는지에
value exchange.
저희가 필요했습니다.
There is no
또 하나는 에티오피아
transparent
같은 경우에
logistical
계좌를
system.
가지고 있는 분들이 전체 인구의 10%밖에 되지 않아요.
There is no system that shows
농촌에 계신 분들은
the money flow from donations to see where they go.
그 계좌에 들어갈 돈이
And many people in Ethiopia don't have bank accounts,
이 5가지를 전부 다
so it's difficult for
만족하면서 이
people in
문제를
Ethiopia to
해결할 수
have
있는
personal
무엇인가에
asset
대해서 고민을 했고 저희는
management.
그것이 블록체인이라고 생각을 했습니다.
And the fifth is that there is no regional
많은
currency for
나라들과
distribution.
MOU를 맺고 있습니다.
Ethiopia is
많은
currently in MOU with
서브 캠프가
many
필요하다고 말씀하시고
associations.
에티오피아 오게부처는 이미 MOU를 맺었고요. 카로베르데 라이베리아 역시 MOU를 맺은 상황이고 캄보디아하고 사우디아는 지금 얘기를 하고 있고
And
저희 팀이 지금
there are
나가고
also other
있지만
countries like
지금
Cambodia
미팅 중에 있거든요.
and Saudi
콩고
Arabia
공화국, 중앙아프리카 역시
that we are in talks with as well.
아메리카 대륙에서는 대한민국 정부기관이죠. 코이카가
And the Korean government agency KOICA
지원하는 것으로서 결정이 나서 추진 중에 있습니다.
is also providing funds to Ethiopia at the moment.
에티오피아입니다.
Our first target is Ethiopia.
이미 시작되었고 정부와 논의가 마무리됐어요.
We already started, and all the talks with the government has already been completed.
에티오피아 농촌은 협동조합으로 관리가 되어 있습니다.
And there are about 17,600 co-ops at the moment.
그렇다면 우리의 캠프 이코노미 무엇이냐라고 설명을 먼저 드리면
So let's explain the camp economy. The first is village economy. For people to live in these villages, buying water and supplies and living. There should be an exchange of currency because of that.
민저 사업의 성격을 띠고 있습니다. 따라서 독점 사업이고 생필품 사업입니다. 제가 생필품 사업이라고 말씀드리는 것은 매일 거래가 일어날 수밖에 없는 사업이다.
So it's a business that sells commodities, so there should be a daily exchange every day.
에티오피아 협동조합에서 농산물을 모아줄 겁니다. 모아주기로 했습니다.
And the co-ops in Ethiopia will come together to bring
에티오피아가 가장 유명한
their local goods, coffee and sesame seeds.
중에 1조 5천억 원 정도가 참깨와 커피라고 보시면 됩니다. 그 부분을 저희가 담당합니다.
Takes up a big amount of the overall revenue.
에티오피아의 질 좋은 커피를 마시고 싶으시다면
If you would like to drink good coffee from Ethiopia, come into the camp economy of Ethiopia, then you can buy good quality coffee. And as the reinvestment increases, the camp economy will grow, and as the camp grows, the reinvestment will increase. This is what we would like to call the camp impact donation.
세상을 누군가에게 우리는 기부를 받아서 세상을 변하게 했기 때문에 그러면 그 주신 분들에게 우리는 무엇을 줄까라고 생각을 해보면
So now it is time to change the world, and it's your turn to help. We're thinking of giving back 10% of the revenues.
재투자를 원하신다면 재투자를 하고 추가 소각, 새로운 사업, 여러분에게 의견을 묻고 캠퍼더 투표를 할 겁니다. 그래서 저희는
And we will also get feedback from everyone. And also there will be discounts and special events and reward systems for the camp economy.
우리의 시장은 적도주변의 저개발국이고요.
Our market is the underdeveloped world.
소모적 투자를 얘기하는 것도 아니며 없어지는 기부를 말씀드리는 것도 아닙니다. 저희가 말하고 싶은
We're not talking about consumable aid or consumable investments or donations that will eventually be used up. We're talking about generating a virtuous cycle economy. That is the value and ideals of camp.
이미 너무나 많은 그들의 정부를 통해서
And there are many people right now in the world that are reaching out for help through their governments, and it is our turn to take their hand and help them.
저는 감히 생각하고 있습니다. 그들을 더 이상 소외된 곳에 놓아두지 말자고 말입니다. 이사입니다.
Thank you very much. This was camp. Thank you. If there are any questions, please let me know.
질문 없으시면 예.
그 아까 말씀 주셨던 것처럼 지역 화폐로 사용되게끔 만드는
You're talking about a regional currency?
에티오피아 이런 주민들이 스마트나 IoT 관련해서 전혀 문외한인데 어찌됐든
But many people in Ethiopia don't know about smart and other things.
그렇다면 거기 그 사람들이 어떻게 사용할
How are you going to train the people in Ethiopia to be able to use such currencies? And what are your plans of educating them about this? So currently the region we're working in has 4G service, but you can only send text messages. but it's fast enough for whoever has a cell phone to be able to send a video. But many people don't have smartphones. They say about 80% of the people have phones, but it's usually 2G phones. So we're in the midst of developing a way of being able to provide transactions on 2G phones. So we're thinking of making kiosk-like centers where people can use their biometric information or maybe an identification card of some sort to be able to make transactions. And we think it's a good idea to be able to use 2G phones to make transactions, and then maybe also finding a way for people to make backups and then being able to do the transactions later in the future. I think Facebook also has this similar mindset. But this is also a way for government-issued currencies to lose power. Do you think there will be any problems? No, I don't think there will be any problems, because we're already done with talks. I received a call yesterday. They're already in talks with Hong Kong regarding blockchain in Ethiopia. And the government has told us that they want to solve this issue, and there has been no friction regarding this problem. The people there have a paper identification form which has their identification number. But right now, these identification numbers are not uploaded into the chain. These are issued identification forms by the Ethiopian government. We're thinking to connect this identification number with biometric information for more secure identification system. So the people who are most worried about identification systems is those who provide aid, because people can receive twice as much aid as they're supposed to be allotted. So we're hoping to use the chain to have a more secure identification system. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
되게 소셜 임팩트 관련된 프로젝트가 많은 것 같은데요. 굉장히 인상적이었던 것 같습니다.
Thank you very much to Kemp. The next up is Animal Go. I am Freddie Liang, head of IR in Animal Go. Nice to meet you. Our team is a bit unique. We are comprised of people with various backgrounds and experiences who came together because they love animals. Does anyone recognize me? No? Let me introduce myself. I was an actor for over 10 years, but my love of animals and my interest in blockchain grew so much that now I'm on this team. I lead IR, but also I take a part in developing blockchain. But today is not about me, it is about Animal Go. Animal Go project is a pet platform company based on AI deep learning and blockchain technology. We use real data of pets and AI technology to create new businesses. This is the app screen of Animal Go we released in July. Currently over 50,000 users and have downloaded the app. And it's 21st rated in Apple iOS. And on Android, it's 5th in trending. Why do you think we became so popular? It's because of the AI technology. We use different AI technologies to analyze the health of our pets or the age. And using this data, we can recommend products to pet owners. And we are in the works of trying to interpret barks and meows. And we get points within the app. You can use these points to purchase products. And you can exchange these Go points to use as real currency. We also have an offline shop in Gangnam. It's a 3-story flagship store called Animal Park. It has pet-friendly cafes, parks, salons, daycares, and we're hoping to bring other services in the future. We're trying to bring the best services for pets in our flagship store. And we're hoping to make this into a franchise in the future. And this is our Animal Go Beauty Mobile. It's actually bigger than what you see in the picture here. It's big enough for two pets to be groomed at once, and there are spa services within. It's currently in operation in Seoul, and we're hoping to expand to all over the country. There are other parts that we haven't explained to you yet. We have a token called COM2 tokens that users can use in this ecosystem. There are other things that we haven't explained to you yet. We're hoping to have a way for people to travel with pets, pet TV, etc., and games and IoT to expand the pet market in the future. Right now, the pet market in Korea is increasing by 7% every year, and it's growing worldwide. Right now, in the market, there is no top tier, so we believe that we can become the top tier. And within the AI and blockchain, there is also no top tier yet. And we're making real revenue at the moment, and we're growing rapidly. Thank you very much. I have one question. Why does Animal Go have to be on blockchain? It seems like it's already self-running enough. When I first got involved in blockchain, I thought to myself, why should I combine pets with blockchain? I had a lot of questions myself, but to tell you what I decided, so to be able to analyze pure breeds, you need deep learning AI technology. And to use, for example, pictures that people upload on social media, this would be a violation of privacy and copyright. So we're trying to make a system where people can upload their information and we can reward them with our tokens. So that means you are using blockchain technology so you can use original photos. Can you explain how the Animal Go tokens work within the Animal Go platform? Right now, the most important thing is the ecosystem. To strengthen the ecosystem, the users need to be rewarded well and also be able to have cheaper purchases so that everything will become more activated. You said you were going to use AI technology for analyzing a fecal matter or teeth. I think for this to be effective, this data has to be accurate. How accurate is the system? Right now, it is about 90% accurate. So with a picture of fecal matter, to find the disease of a pet. But no, we don't have any professional vets on board, but we can use what we have learned from the AI technology to recommend seeing a vet in case of a certain disease. So basically, you're recommending seeing a physician depending on the pictures that are sent by the owners. But where can owners find credibility in this recommendation? So on the second floor of our store, we're going to bring in an animal hospital so they can go to the hospital directly. But I'm worried that perhaps this will be a way of having Animal Go recommending people to come to their hospital as a means of advertisement. Does that mean that the users will give their reviews of their experiences, reviews of the vet experience? Yes. Then you should talk to MedUse. I have 2 dogs. I really liked what you said, but as a dog owner, it's really hard to find proper lodging for my dogs. It's really hard to find a good place that I can trust. Do you have a vision for that? So we are in collaboration with a hotel to be able to provide proper lodging for pets. And we're hoping that as this becomes a franchise, we can have more places for pets to lodge within the country. Thank you. I went to the Animal Go Cafe. The dogs were very cute.
It's me? 네? Oh, okay. Okay. 시작. Perfect. Okay, hi everyone, and thank you so much for listening 끝까지 and keeping up the attention. I promise that this is going to be a very exciting project because it's definitely something you've never heard of before. It is welcome to the Elinet presentation, the world's first SIM-less blockchain telecom network. So I want to ask you guys, I'll actually ask Choi Soo-young-님, can I ask you how many mobile subscribers or wireless subscribers do you think there are in the world? There are 8 billion people on the planet. How many people are wireless subscribers? 10%? That's it? No! Okay, so the answer will be revealed on the next slide. 다음요. 네. Okay. Sorry. 이거 어떻게 해요? How does this work? Okay, so there are actually more wireless subscribers in the world than people. So what does that mean? What did we all have to do to get our SIM card? Well, all those people in the world, and including all of you here, we all had to physically go into a store, SK, KT, LGU+, and we had to spend a couple hours of our day, right, to actually sign a contract. And what did that contract get you? It got you expensive prices, and it got you restrictions. You have to be stuck with that one carrier for maybe 2 or 3 years. And what do? They pretty much go behind your back and they collect all the data, all the things that you're doing on your phone, and they sell them to third-party marketing firms. So they're already profiting off you every month with these super high expensive prices, and then profiting off of you again by doing like sneaky things behind your back. So I think we can all agree that the telecom industry is super outdated. There hasn't been any changes in decades. And what Elinet wants to do is, for the first time in history, we want you to not be dependent on a single carrier anymore. For the first time, you'll be able to switch networks because our network is a virtual and SIM-less telecom network. So what does that mean? That means we can guarantee, because we are a completely virtual network, we don't have any sort of brick and mortar retail locations. We also do not have to heavily invest in cell towers or switching centers. So all of that massive infrastructural cost savings, we are able to push those on to our customers. So that means in any given country, we're talking a guaranteed 50% lower price. In addition to that, we are also eliminating things like roaming fees and data overage fees. A lot of Koreans are in this room. I'm sure you'll remember maybe just like a couple years ago, I was with SKT and like 하루만, it was like 10,000원 per day for like 무제한 data, right? But now all of a sudden it changed. And now it's like still 10,000원 for one day, but I'm only getting 300 megabytes of data. And trust me, when you're using Instagram and other social medias, KakaoTalk to keep in touch with your friends back home, that 300 megabytes goes quick. Also, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but in Canada, if you go over your plan, even by just like 10 megabytes, it's going to cost you $80 in a fee extra. It's absolutely insane. And it's crazy that we still accept all of these pain points in the industry. So Elinet is going to get rid of those for us. So how do we get all these benefits as mobile subscribers? Well, it's extremely simple. All you have to do is download our mobile software called Crude from the Google Play Store. Very, very simple. It looks and feels just like an app. And when you get on that, you can just simply buy some data packages. It's like 1 gigabyte data package, 5 gigabyte data package, and so on and so forth. And you can use either fiat currency, or you'll be able to use our token, which will be released next month. And that will offer users an added discount. And after that, all you have to do is press a little button, and now you're on the Elinet network. Now you can avoid all these charges that your domestic carrier charges you, and you can reduce all those fees. And wouldn't you rather pay 50% less a month on your data plan? I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? So basically where blockchain comes into play is the authentication process. So for any telecom firm anywhere around the world, they rely on something called a switching center. So a switching center is a physical, massive structure database that costs a lot per year, millions of dollars per year to maintain. And what we were able to do was to take all the functions that are required of a switching center and put the authentication process completely on the blockchain. And that's pretty much the most important way that we're saving money in this industry, and it really is an industry first. So Crude, as I mentioned, is your gateway of how you're going to connect to a global network. So it doesn't matter wherever you purchase data. Let's say you bought $10 worth of data in Korea today. Doesn't matter if you go to the US or England, maybe next year, next month, the data will carry over country to country, month to month. It never expires. And there's not any extra fees to use it anywhere else in the world. It's completely simple. It just looks and feels like any app that you're already used to. And the really cool part is it is also an industry first, is even though we are a network provider, what it does is it collects all your personal big data, and you have the option in the future to sell it to a third-party marketer if you want. That's not in our hands anymore. So next month is going to be an extremely busy month for Elinet. We're going to see finally launching in Uzbekistan that is going to be our beta version and pretty much the optimal testing field for this application. And later on next year, we're going to see launching in more countries because that's the whole purpose of this platform, is to be able to roam country to country. So the initial markets are as follows. We chose these markets because of their friendliness to foreign telecom operators. Basically, places like Germany, they have over 117 MVNOs, 117 foreign telecom operators already operating. So these markets are very, very friendly towards foreign telecom networks, and as well, they have a lot of churn and not too much loyalty when it comes to switching operators. And this telecom network and all the sort of technology behind our project is extremely, extremely complex, and that's why the barriers to entry are extremely high. And the reason why we were able to really manipulate such a traditional industry is because of the in-depth knowledge and technical know-how of our team. So our CEO, Mr. Roh, he is so well renowned. If you ask anyone in the telecom network here or telecom industry here in Korea, they will 100% know who he is. You know, Korea is so world renowned for its like incredibly fast, incredibly efficient telecom network, especially in 4G. And he is the LGU Plus network architect. So if there's anyone that is going to be able to successfully execute this project, it really is this team. They have over 50 years of experience in the telecom industry, and they know things that are really, really amazing. So that is their presentation for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll hope to meet you next month in the Google Play Store. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, there's questions. Yes, if there's questions, please say you must have one question for me.
Hello.
Hi, who are you?
Nah,
joking.
So you mentioned that right now for your network, you don't need to have any physical infrastructure towers.
No.
But you still have to give the signal. Maybe I'm being ignorant, but it means you have to collaborate with those companies who build the towers.
Yeah.
Aren't those companies that build SKT, LG, all the companies in Korea?
Okay, so regardless of Korea, because it's not one of our initial markets, if you look at places like Germany, there already are over 117 virtual network operators. Similar in the US, something like Cricket. So what you do is you just purchase a license that's given to you from the government. The government wants competition in the telecom industry. They're sick of oligopolistic conditions. So it's very easy to get that kind of license, and then you just get like a percentage of the bandwidth of the cell towers. So we actually are connected to the cell towers, but we don't have to build them, which costs billions of dollars. So it's like a huge savings from our standpoint.
Still in Korea, is it feasible?
Okay, so places like China, Saudi Arabia, Korea, where the government is super protective of these big monopolistic companies, the big three, those types of countries are not possible to operate in as of yet. But in recent months, like places that were really protectionist have been actually opening their doors. A lot of countries in Africa have been, and you know, we have been in talks with a lot of people in Dubai as well. So we're hoping that these regulations start loosening up.
So I guess your token, like purchasers, buyers, should be also from those countries, yeah, not Korea in a way.
Yeah, well, you could, if you're a Korean person that wants to travel to, let's say, the US, and you don't want to spend man won per day for 300 megabytes, you'd rather pay man won for 5 gigabytes, you can definitely buy our token and use that. That's it? Okay. Thank you so much.
아무래도 출장이 잦은 블록체인 업계 분들에게는 좀 유용하지 않을까 싶습니다.
I think this will be very effective for those who travel a lot abroad. Our last team is Conflux.
Hi, test. Hello. And hi guys, my name is Yanpei. I'm from Conflux. I'm a core system developer, and it's a really pleasure for me to introduce Conflux to you, a next generation of public chain system. So before getting to Conflux, I would like to recall some brief history of the public chain system. Okay, in 2008, we got the Bitcoin, which started the first page of blockchain system. And a few years later, we got the Ethereum, which make the smart contract and the dApp available. But both the Bitcoin and the Ethereum suffers from the scalability problem, because Bitcoin can only process like 7 transactions per second, and Ethereum can make it to like 20. And so of course, a lot of public chain systems would like to solve the scalability problem, but most of them are doing this by sacrificing the decentralization, like use like Libra, but Conflux don't want to do that, because we believe that the decentralization and the permissionlessness is very critical to the security of public chain system. So we want to solve the scalability problem with the same level of decentralization as Bitcoin or Ethereum. So how do we do this? So we researched a lot of like the consensus algorithm of Bitcoin, and we found that because the miners of Bitcoin are compete with each other, they are trying to compete on the longest chain. So if there any forks happen, the forks will be discarded, and which make the waste of loss of computing powers and like network resources. So to solve the problem, we built up an original new data structure called tree graph. And in tree graph, each block has one like parent block and 0 or more reference blocks. So each block can include all the forks and make it inclusive in the blockchain system. And so if you have any transactions on any blocks, that won't be discarded, and the throughput will be much higher than before. Okay, in the next page, I will give you a running example of how Conflux sort the blocks and making consensus. And as a node, at the very beginning, you get to select the pure chain. I mean the yellow one, by a ghost-like rule, and after that, each block in the pure chain will dominate one epoch, and you will like partition all the other blocks into some epochs, and in each epoch, you will sort the blocks in a topological order. And because each node in Conflux will choose the same pivot chain, so the order of the blocks will be the same, and there's a consensus will be made, and also the security things will be ensured. Here we had a long math proof of it, and yeah. So after the designing, we need to evaluate our system. So we ran a lot of experiments. We ran 20,000 node testnet, and the node is distributed all around the world. And here is the results. We can reach about like 3,000 to 6,000 TPS. It is like hundreds of times than the Bitcoin or the Ethereum, and it's even a little bit higher than Libra. So Libra is a partially decentralized system, right? Okay, and besides the throughput, we can each transaction in Conflux can be confirmed in like 23 seconds, which means you can buy a coffee via Conflux network. You just need to wait 23 seconds and take it away. Of course, any other daily payments will work in Conflux too. And yeah. So here is our founding team. Our team is founded by a bunch of world-level scientists and engineers. Our chief scientist, Andrew Yao, who is the only Turing Award winner in China and in East Asia. And our founder, Fan Long, he got a PhD from MIT. And David Cho, he got a PhD from CMU. And our CTO, Wu Ming, he's a senior researcher in Microsoft Research. And Wei Xu, he got a PhD of UC Berkeley. And both Wei, David, and Andrew are professors from Tsinghua University, which is the best university in China. Okay, and talk about the fundraising. We have already raised about $35 million on the first round. And the money is from like top VCs in China, like Sequoia China, and top IT companies like Baidu. Okay, and yeah, here's the roadmap. We have already launched our testnet in this April, and our mainnet will be launched in next Q1. And I believe the Conflux will be a really important infrastructure in the future blockchain world and real world. And if you are interested, you can follow us on this kind of medias. That's the presentation. Thank you. Any questions?
What was the consensus mechanism for verifying blocks?
Consensus mechanism, right? Okay. Actually, the time is a little bit short, so I can only briefly describe it. Okay. So the consensus algorithm is like, first, you got to if you want to generate a new block, you will have to choose what is the parent block of it and what is the reference block of it. Okay. The parent of block is pretty simple. You just need to apply the ghost rule. If you read the paper of the ghost, you can find the ghost rule by the pure to find the pure chain, and the parent of the new block is the leaf of the is the tail of the pure chain. And if you found any other forks or orphans, you can include it by reference them.
So how do I choose those blocks? Is by like proof of work or proof of stake?
Proof of work. Yeah.
Waiting for your mainnet launch then.
Thank you. Okay, that's it. Thank you for your question.
You have met the 10 teams of TryAngle Season 1. Can our judges please tell us what you thought? Thank you for staying until this late hour. Now we're going to go back and review and better understand each of the 10 projects. Thank you for your presentations. It was nice to meet you. It's a very meaningful time today.
프로젝트가 모두 이제 다 다른 컨셉을 가지고 있어서 뭐 이제 듣는데 지루하지 않고 뭐
Since all 10 projects had each a different idea, it wasn't boring. It was very interesting to hear.
오늘 저 기술에서 좀 기술적인 프로젝트도 있었고,
There were some technological presentations, some fun art-related projects, and something more lifestyle-related, like pet-related projects.
본인들의 생각을 나눌 수 있었다는 게 뜻깊었던 것 같고요.
It was really nice to
다음 주에는 조금 더 깊은
get a view
내용으로
of everyone's
토론이 좀 원활하게
projects.
진행됐으면 좋겠습니다. 감사합니다.
We're hoping that through next week's forum, we can get to know each project better.
I came here for getting new ideas, and I feel I really got
여러분들의
ideas. I
아이디어를
hope you also
또
got
이렇게 알게 돼서 너무
But
기쁘고요.
the
또
thing is
굉장히
that
흥미로운
bold ideas
그런
are
아이디어도
great
있었습니다.
when you have it in a short time. But of course, you have to go deep and deep to understand exactly how that works. They're also very excited for the second time of our show. So see you next week then.
정말 오랜 시간까지 이렇게 프로젝트 피칭을 들으면서 정말 많은 다양한 분야에서 이렇게 블록체인이 활용되고 있다는 것 자체가 조금
It was very interesting to learn
또한 여기서
how
정말
blockchain can
많은
be used in
그런 BM
various
모델이 나올 수
industries
있게
until
돼서
this late hour.
정말 일단 한국 프로젝트와 일단 블록체인의 미래가 일단 밝은 거에 일단 감사를 드리며
I'm really
또한
looking
이제
forward to the future of
저희가 이제
blockchain
감히
in Korea.
심사위원이지만 솔직히 저희가
Although I'm a
평가를
judge,
한다기보다 프로젝트를 조금 더 많은 검토를 통해서 어떤
I don't want to say that
프로젝트가
I'm
저희
judging these projects. We're
각각의
going to
저희
review these
거래소와 함께 이제
projects
나아갈 건지 이제
and
판단하도록
recommend
하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
future and directions of each project. Thank you.
위원분들께서 말씀해 주셨던 것처럼 되게 차세대 블록체인은 이전의 블록체인과 좀 다르다라는 걸 많이 느낄 수
The new blockchain industry, I think, is a little different from the blockchain industry before.
기존에 저희가 생각하던 DF들은 좀 안 좋지 않을까라고 생각했던 그런 평가를 되게 많이
Before we used to think that dApps weren't very useful, but today's presentations proved us wrong. And finally, we have our final speaker.
여러분들, 심사위원 여러분 정말 고생 많으셨습니다.
Thank you, everyone, for pitching and reviewing and waiting
다른 팀들의 이야기를 들어주시고요.
and listening to other people's presentations. Thank you so much.
오늘 녹화한 건 지금 현장 중계는 저희 네이버 TV하고 유튜브로
Right now, the live stream is going out live on YouTube and Naver TV. You can watch it again on each of the platforms.
저희가 따로 편집을 해서
And we're going to have highlight videos for each
나갈 예정에 있습니다.
project,
현재 각
and it will be presented on the blog post.
구매하시는데 설명을 좀 드리면 2회차랑 3회차는
So next week and the week after,
월요일, 그 다음 주 월요일 날짜로 이야기하면
each Monday,
12월 2일
November 25th and December 2nd, you can choose.
심사위원분들은 다 안 나오셔도 돼요.
The judges don't necessarily have to come.
인터뷰를 더 하고 싶다고 하면
You can match with certain teams that you'd like to have a more in-depth interview with, and we'll do matching for you.
맞는 포트폴리오, 비슷한 투자 포트폴리오를 가지고 있는 벤처 캐피탈이나
So we're going to make meetings with suitable venture capitals.
하게 해드릴 거고요. 그래서 총 5개 팀씩 나눠서 할 거예요.
So each week we'll have 5 teams. So all the teams have already told me which days they would like to come. So we will organize that and let you know.
다시 한 번 더 발표를 합니다. 최종 발표입니다.
And then afterwards we're going to have a final presentation. And we're going to open up a voting system. Right now there are 10. and people can vote for their favorite projects.
마지막 주 5주차 바로 12월
So
16일인데
the last
이 마지막 파이널 라운드에는
day, final round,
심사위원들이 발표를 할 겁니다.
the judges will present.
내가 뽑은 픽은 어떤
They will
팀이고
present which
이 팀을
team that they
가지고
chose
있고
and why they chose that team
잠재력을 가지고 있는
and what potential that each team that they chose have.
해주시는 것으로 마무리를 하려고 합니다. 트라이앵글 이번 시즌은 블록체인으로 시작을 했습니다.
So this season of TryAngle starts with blockchain.
중국 팀도 있고
There
러시아
are
팀도 있고 한국 팀도 있는데
teams from all over the world.
4세대 블록체인 프로젝트들 여러분들께서 만나보신 것 같고요.
So I feel like everyone has gotten a glimpse of the future of blockchain.
이 기업들을 두루 이제 보도를 할 예정에 있습니다.
And we're hopefully going to release to the media all the information regarding this event today. Thank you for staying until this late hour. Please stay until the end so we can take a group picture. Thank you for all those who are watching on Naver TV and on YouTube. Thank you very much.
다 같이 사진 촬영.
So let's all get together and have a group picture. 감사합니다 했으니까 근데 모르셨어요.